In this video, I want to answer the question, what is crashing the timeline? Crashing the timeline, or sometimes just crashing, is shortening the remaining duration of the project. And we usually do this by adding additional resources to get the work done more quickly. But there are other solutions to crashing the timeline that allow us to be a bit smarter, because of course adding resources adds cost. But the usual trade-off is true. If you want something faster, you have to pay more, you have to create resources. But let's have a look at what our other options really are. The best way to think about this, as much else on projects, is to start with the time, cost, quality and scope four-way constraint. What we want to do is to improve the time dimension, which means something has got to give on one of the other corners. And as I say, the obvious one is to spend more money to increase the cost or the budget to procure the resources you need to get the work done more quickly. But there are two other options, of course, and one is to address the quality. If you reduce your quality requirements, then producing the deliverables is going to be easier and quicker. And so if you are under time pressure, either because you need to bring forward the delivery date or because something has slipped and you're desperately trying to maintain a delivery date, a second option is to compromise on the quality on certain aspects of your project. And the third option is scope. You can advance delivery of your project if you cut down on the scope that you're aiming to deliver. Are there some elements of scope which are of lower value, of lesser importance, and therefore can be put to one side? So, a wider definition of crashing the timelines of your project is to make compromises, to advance your project ahead of schedule, or to catch up on a significant delay. And if you're going to make compromises, there are other things you can compromise as well, although you need to be very careful about these. And one of those is some of the procedural guidelines that you've set yourself. You may relax some of that governance, some of that robust management and control in the interest of faster delivery. Another thing you can compromise on is the environment of your project, the atmosphere of the project. You can ask team members to work harder and possibly longer. Now, we know that that's not sustainable, but one of the important aspects of good leadership is that people will willingly follow a leader that they like and trust and believe in, particularly for a project that has real meaning to them, enough so that they would put the needs of the project ahead of their own short-term needs. So you can, to a degree, ask more of your team. But please don't do that for protracted periods of time, because the implications of that on stress levels and long-term productivity are not pleasant. But certainly, it is appropriate sometimes to ask your team members to put other work aside and dedicate a larger proportion of their working time to your project. Of course, as a project manager, that means you're going to have to negotiate with the managers and team leaders and supervisors of those project team members. But don't forget, whether you're working your team harder than normal or just expecting the normal working day from them, at a time when you're trying to advance delivery of your project or catch up with a delay, your team will feel subject to stress. So prioritize good quality interactions with your team. Make sure that they do take proper breaks, they do eat well, and they do get home from work at a sensible time. Ultimately, though, I would say crashing timelines is as much about attitude as it is about managing your resources and your budget and thinking about scope and quality. Perhaps The Nike slogan says it best of all at times when you need to crash your timelines. You've got a job to do, you've got a project to deliver. Just do it. If you've enjoyed this video, then please do give it a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel and hit the notification button to learn of new videos as soon as they drop. And please visit the online PM Courses website, where we've got loads of free and paid resources for project managers like you.